All right, guys, that was the beta. All I can hope for is that Infinity Ward takes our critiques and maybe implements some of them for week one, first month. Fingers crossed. Still no concessions regarding returning the minimap back to normal. It still doesn't ping if a enemy with an unsilenced weapon shoots a gun and there's no friendly UAV up. Still nothing regarding the staged reloads, which replaced, I guess, the old reloads where you could actually YY or triangle or whatever you use on the keyboard to switch weapons to interrupt your reload. Still have staged reloads, and that has actually costed me more gunfights than I care to admit. I reloaded, I mistimed the reload cancel, thinking that I did it, and I had an unreloaded weapon, and I was going into a gunfight or ADS. I was like, oh, I'm still reloading, and then I died. So yeah, it has costed me some kill streaks over this beta. Still nothing regarding Dead Silence, returning it back to being a perk. Doesn't even have to be as strong as it used to be. I'm not sure if anyone's ever said that. It could just be reduce footstep volume by like 50%. Doesn't have to be the full one. Or why can't we get Amplify back or Sitrep Pro? You know, have that old tug of war like we did back in the day where perks would actually cancel each other out. Like, I guess in Ghost we had, is it Blast? Yeah, we had Blast Shield, and then you had like Danger Close, or you had, Sitrep Pro Amplify versus Dead Silence, or I guess Ghost didn't really have a, it didn't really have a counter perk, but a lot of them did. So I feel like, why isn't that more of like in play in the current Call of Duties? Just have that old tug of war, and it kind of negates the whole one perk being too powerful. Just make a perk that perfectly counters it, or pretty much counters it. That would be great. But anyways, I'm not going to talk so much about the my gripes or my complaints or whatever. I had enough of doing that for the last two videos. But yeah, so I did fail to make some promises over this beta. I actually didn't reach max level. I didn't want to stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning, and I forgot to set an alarm. So and I also didn't play this beta as much as I guess past betas, which is kind of shocking. Even the which beta did I not have the most fun with? I guess IW. I had like the most connection issues with IW, but I think I reached max level. BO3 was really fun because I played with my friends on the beta back when skill-based matchmaking wasn't a huge thing. BO4, yeah, I for sure was going for gunships. And I was actually still playing with a couple friends here and there. Again, see, like the ones that don't have skill-based matchmaking, I was still playing with friends. Yeah, Modern Warfare 2019, I think I did too. And Cold War for sure, I was playing up until the very last second. I woke up early. But this one, I didn't reach max level. So that's pretty sad considering like it was only level 30 and I didn't do it. I tried to go for the Juggernaut and it got increasingly frustrating. So I know I said I was going to try to get the Juggernaut so I could record the music, but I'm just not that good at this game. I always died off my streak. I could barely get VTOLs and chopper gunners, so I was not going to be getting a Juggernaut, so apologies there. And then I completely forgot. I promised someone I was going to get the Search and Destroy bomb planting music. I completely forgot because I was still trying to get gameplay up until the very last minute, or I guess gameplay to record the Juggernaut music. I was trying to do that to the very end, and I couldn't do it, so I guess I just suck. I mean, I even went back to Modern Warfare 2019 in the middle of the beta just to see, am I doing something wrong? Like, am I playing it differently? Like, is there something off here besides, like, I guess the reload canceling not being the same way because of staged reloads, or, of course, like not having the movement exploits. But, like, I played Modern Warfare 2019 just jumping and not doing the, slide canceling, and it... maybe it worked, but I don't know, maybe it was my attachments, maybe that was wrong, but I just couldn't make it work. So again, to you two, I apologize for not getting the music, but enough about that. I actually do want to praise something, because again, I want to get it across, I'm not just a hater. I will gladly praise where it's due. So I did give the new Ground War and Invasion game modes a try. I cannot condone the behavior in that. It just... You guys are watching the gameplay right now. I can't support that kind of mindset, but I can't blame these guys because the map design pretty much forces you to do it. There's so many corners and alleyways, and there's so many buildings. Like, why wouldn't you play this way? Like, you'd be punished if you didn't. So it's like I can't hate people too much for doing it, because it's just not the same old map design in the past. And these maps, like right here, are exactly why I tried really, really hard to like Ground War in Modern Warfare 2019. I just couldn't, because I'm not a sniper. I don't typically use an LMG like with a thermal or a scope on it, or I don't use like, I don't know, I guess a long range setup for an AR like with a scope and then like the big heavy barrels and the big like stocks, which slow your sprint to fire speed and your ADS speed, and I think your movement speed as well when you're ADS. I'm not used to using that. I like going for points and capturing them and running and gunning. So for the same reasons, I just support that play style, that kind of like more camping play style in Modern Warfare 2019. Is the maps are also lending to that kind of play style in Modern Warfare 2022. So I tried for I think about like 6 hours, but the play style I don't agree with or condone. I can't hate on it too much because again, like they're basically telling you to do that with the way these maps are set up. But I will give praise again. It took like almost 6 minutes, but I will give praise to the amount of vehicles that Infinity Ward has added to completely shake up the entire vehicle dynamic. It's insane the number of vehicles. There's ATVs, there's trucks, there's infantry fighting vehicles, there's armored personal carriers again, there's a heavy infantry fighting vehicle. I'm not sure if it's actually a light tank or just a tank. There's a heavy transport helicopter that you can use to transport people, and it's so much fun just to go over enemy spawn and have everyone spawn on you and everyone just completely flanks them. I love that. I love flanking. There's a boat. There's boats now. It's fantastic. I love it. And the way that these vehicles kind of, I want to say that the heavy tank has a certain advantage over like the infantry fighting vehicle and the armored personal carrier, but the heavy tank, I'll call it a heavy tank, isn't as fast as both of those, so the other ones are much more maneuverable and can get around the heavy tank. I think they also like swivel on their turret faster as well. And of course the APC can carry people, so those people can carry rocket launchers and the drill charge and the thermite, so like they can just basically outflank and destroy the tank that way. So I really, really love the dynamic at play here. It's great, it's fantastic. I just wish the maps were maybe, I can't say smaller because it's ground war, but just less tall buildings, more like Afghan. Like I would be okay with Afghan because at least like it's more open and there wasn't so much like people camping in buildings because there really was none except for I think 2 buildings, maybe there are 3 buildings, and they're all like I think 1 story. Maybe the one on the other side had 2 stories. I'm having so much trouble remembering such an old game. That the game's like 13 years old coming on this year. That's crazy to think about. But just, like smaller maps, one with less tall buildings, and I think it would be perfect. Like the tallest it could be is like 3 stories or 2 stories, less alleyways, more open streets, maybe more like, let's just say like blown out buildings to like, maneuver through, and then maybe have the buildings also still closer to each other. That way you could go through the buildings, but because they're shorter, you don't have to go all the way up to the top of the building to dislodge someone camping at the top or whatever who probably has claymores and proximity mines, guarding the staircase. So, just something where it supports a better flow, other than using the armored personal carriers or the helicopter to basically get behind it, because those get destroyed pretty quickly, even the helicopter, and then you gotta wait for it to respawn again so you can, push for another flank. And I get it, maybe that has to do with like their Infinity Ward's ideal version of pacing, where it's like not everything is just constant chaos. There are like lulls where things kind of slow down. And that's fine. It's just, as an old Call of Duty player, I'm still not used to that kind of stuff. Like the biggest it got for me was basically ground war, and I guess in the more recent Call of Duties, like the 10v10 modes, which were still on, not extremely huge maps. Like that's about as big as I think Call of Duty should go. It shouldn't be like massive 20v20 or 32v32 on a huge map like Battlefield, like it's trying to emulate Battlefield, where that wasn't. Maybe I'm just speaking here as like an old Call of Duty fan, but yeah, I probably am actually. But like that's not the formula that made Call of Duty great and what made people really want to play the game. Maybe they have some kind of internal data at an Activision where like, hey, people really like this now because maybe it lends more to the Warzone crowd because they're used to slower games where you're more patient. But us multiplayer crowd from back in the day where running and gunning was the narrative, and that everyone did it because all the pro players and all the big content creators did nothing but running and gunning. That we're still here, so we still like that playstyle, like that fast-paced action. And I go back and watch old gameplay, and camping is very, very much, it's a minority. And back in the day, if you camped a lot, like you got shamed, you got horribly shamed in the group I guess it would be a group chat. Like everyone on their mics on the enemy team would just be completely trashing you for being a camper. So it's like, that's just what it used to be back in the day. Maybe things have changed a lot because of Warzone and it now being that being like basically the entry gate, or like, yeah, I guess the, what's it called? The entry level Call of Duty, I guess you could call it a Call of Duty game, even though it's Battle Royale, but like that being the entry point for a lot of new Call of Duty players and not multiplayer like back in the day. So basically maybe that changed the way that as a whole the community mindset is like when it comes to playstyle. I don't know, again, I'm talking from a perspective of an older COD fan, so I'm not gonna understand it. Maybe some of you guys can explain it to me, because I'm basically an old uncle in the Call of Duty community now, which sucks. It sucks that I'm now like, well, I'm now a dinosaur. Oh boy. But anyways, yeah, guys. So I don't know what I'm gonna do moving forward when it comes to gameplay. I guess I'll try, but I really like playing older Call of Duties. I'm actually gonna go back to play Black Ops 3. Just because I'm very scared what happened to Black Ops 4, where they shut down the dedicated servers. Could happen to BO3 or some other game down the chopping block. I'm really afraid of that, because I do love playing these games every now and then. So Infinite Warfare, Black Ops 3, I'll go back to Ghosts, because like Ghosts has like no players whatsoever. It's kind of sad. Advanced Warfare, I'll play that one too. What else am I forgetting? I mean, I'll go back to Cold War too again. But yeah, so I'm gonna go back and play those older Call of Duty games for now. That really is gonna be kind of distracting for playing the current Call of Duty. I will still fully commit to the music, and again, sorry to you guys who I promised I was gonna get the music for. I just couldn't do it, or I forgot, and that's completely on me, or I suck too much at this game to get it. So I will definitely try in the full release to get that. I'll make a list, I'll redo like the spawn themes, I'll redo the victory theme, the defeat theme, losing theme, winning theme, the S&D bomb theme, the Juggernaut theme, whatever else there is. I'll look for it. You guys can let me know, and then I'll go and grab it, and then I'll put it together in a video or multiple videos and upload it. So whatever you guys have requests for, let me know and I'll do it. But aside from that, I just have no real reason to play Modern Warfare 2022 other than that, except when I guess I feel like it. But that'll be when I'm like finished getting gameplay for all the older games that I go back and kind of relive playing, or whatever else I have planned. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Again, that was the beta. Hopefully they at least have a few concessions here and there. They kind of give us a little bit of what we want, or they meet us halfway, where we had to beg in Modern Warfare 2019 to get the old minimap back, and they met us halfway with giving us a minimap that doesn't work like the normal one, only when you have a UAV up. So maybe if we beg enough, they'll do the same thing. They'll give us back Dead Silence, but a much weaker version, or they'll add an Amplify or Sitrep Pro kind of perk to counter the Dead Silence new perk that just got re-added, which should never have been removed really. Should just had more counter perks or counter equipment for it instead. And hopefully the reload canceling, we can bring it back. I feel like that's pretty easy, to implement, taking out the staged reloads. You're not Titanfall. Maybe Infinity Ward misses their old ex-employees and they're trying to make it like Titanfall. No, it's not like Titanfall or Apex Legends or whatever. You don't have to do staged reloads to make it more realistic, quote unquote. Just give us back the old triangle, YY, or reload canceling like we used to do in the past, So anyways, yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'll end it right here. I really appreciate you guys watching the videos. It's getting more, and the videos are getting more attention than I ever thought they would, because I'm just a small guy who just makes random videos and not very great stuff. So thank you guys for watching it. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Again, like always, have an awesome day. I'll see you all in the next one.